Yo, what's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the definition of talent. And talent is usually defined as the natural skill or ability of being able to do something, especially without being taught, right? And being able to do that thing at a very high level. And, all sorts of sports, and of course, esports or games like Rocket League, are kind of riddled with talent, right? People always like to use the word talent. People always like to think of players as being super talented, and people often like to think of other players as less talented. And I kind of want to talk to you guys about talent in general, what I think of it, and why I think it doesn't matter at all. So, to give you guys a little bit of context, firstly, I have no talent if you were to look at talent in the way that it's defined, right? The natural ability to be good at something. Meaning, you pick up something and you're instantly quite good, right? Pretty fast. And especially, without being taught. For me, every game that I've ever played, I've been very terrible in at the start, right? In Rocket League, I started in Silver. In Valorant, I started in Iron 1, which is literally the lowest rank in the game, by the way. In Counter-Strike, I started in Silver 1, which is the lowest rank in the game. In Overwatch, I started in Silver, which is the second lowest rank in the game, but only above like Bronze, I think. In pretty much every game that I've ever played, I have been very bad when I first started. But in the games that I just named, other than Overwatch, because I never really played it enough. In Valorant, I went from the lowest rank in the game all the way to top 2,000 in all of Europe, right? Immortal 3. I was top 2,000 in all of Europe, and there was no like natural ability there. In Rocket League, obviously at my peak of GC3, I was like top 10,000 probably in the world, probably less even. And I achieved these things without any sort of talent, without any sort of natural ability. Well, because I started at the bottom. So what I kind of want you guys to realize and to think about is, does it really matter, right? Talent is one of those things that everyone always, thinks about, and they always think, well, maybe I'm too old to play this game, right? I have a lot of people who I talk to who are in their 20s, maybe in their 30s, or even in their 40s, right? And they're like, can I get good at Rocket League? And my answer is always like, yes, you can. Like, the sky is the absolute limit in terms of what you can do, because at the end of the day, Rocket League, or any game for that matter, is just the mechanics of the game and the understanding of the game. And both of those things do not have any requirements on them to learn, right? You can be any sort of player and it can work, right? And you kind of have to just find your archetype of player and then lean into that. So for example, if you're a 14-year-old super cracked mechie player who can hit like triple resets and stuff, maybe you could lean into that, right? Being a super mechie player. But if you're like 30 or 25 or whatever, right? And let's say you're not very mechanical and you're like an older player or something. Not saying that all older players are not mechanical and anything like that. I'm just bringing an example. Then you could lean into that, right? You could lean into the fact that, well, you do not have the most amount of mechanics, and you could play around that and kind of build your playstyle around it. And the funny thing is that pros do this all the time, right? They cultivate their playstyle around the strengths and weaknesses of themselves as a player. For example, Zen is a ultra mechanical player, right? He's very, very good in solo plays, and he can create chances for his teammates and himself to score, right? And guess what? The way he does that is he plays and centers his playstyle around being third man, right? He plays a lot of third man, lets his teammates challenge for him, and then he gets the solo plays after. And he takes those solo plays because, well, chances are that he's going to be the best mechanical player in nearly every lobby, if not every lobby, right? But then you look at someone like TRK, still mechanically incredible, of course, you know, pro level mechanics, but he does not have his strengths in, you know, mechanical like solo plays. His strengths are really good challenges, really good speed, really good forcing ability, and, you know, demos and stuff, right? So he centers his play style around that. So he'll come, you know, in these plays and he'll like pass the ball middle for his teammates, then he'll, you know, rotate out and get a demo or something, right? Like TRK is far less centered around, you know, like Zen, for example, right? It's like they're polar opposites. One is always, you know, challenging for their teammates, trying to like set them up for free plays, and the other is, well, letting their teammate do that for them and then making the free plays themselves, right? So, and like there's no wrong option, right? It's not like Zen plays the game correctly and TRK plays it wrong, or, you know, whatever, right? It's literally just preference and analyzing your strengths and weaknesses. So what I want you guys to take away from this video is that there is no such thing as talent in my opinion of it, and even if there is, and you do believe in it, it doesn't really matter, right? Because each player, regardless of if you think you have talent or if you don't think you have talent, you can make it work. And I want you guys to think about that, you know, before you go into your next strength session, right? Try to think about, well, what is it that I excel in? What is it that I'm weaker in, right? What kind of playstyle should I build for myself? You know, what could I lean into that is, you know, something that I'm good at, and what could I maybe just let my teammates do a bit more? You know what I mean? And kind of based off of this type of information, you can become a better player because you'll just play more for the things that you're already good at, rather than just getting better at the game itself, if that makes sense, right? Like, you don't always need to become more mechanical. Sometimes you just need to use the correct mechanics. So like, if I know that I'm not super flashy, I'm not going to go for a triple pop here and, you know, try to like get some weird pass. Instead, you know, if I know I'm not the mechiest, all I'm going to do here is get one touch and then get like another touch and then go for like a double tap or something, or just straight score, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to simplify it. But if I think that I'm like the best player of all time, then I might go for, you know, a reset into like a rapid reset, or, you know, like some like complex stuff, right? And, you know, you can center your plays around what type of player you are, and every pro does this, right? Every pro has done this. So it's not like something that only works for low ranks or only works for high ranks or only works for, you know, this works for everyone. So take this into your own games and try to see what kind of player you are, and then center your playstyle around your strengths, right? Obviously, you want to get better at your weaknesses, and you want to improve your weaknesses, and you should want to improve your weaknesses. But it's always better for you to play to your strengths rather than to fill in for someone else's strengths, if that makes sense. So, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you're interested in joining my coaching community or just getting one-on-one coaching from me in general, check out the first link in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all of you. We're almost at 12,000 subs. Might already be at 12,000 subs by the time you're watching this, so I appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys. Much love, and God bless. Peace out.